Hello, everyone. My name is Carolyn Norton, and I'm the Director of Cloud Engineering and Operations. Today, we're going to discuss how the Microsoft platform enables employee engagement. At Velosio, our colleagues are located throughout the US and beyond. We also have employees in India, and it can be challenging to feel connected when we aren't all together in a traditional office setting. We have to rely on these technologies and tools to help engage with one another. How can we collaborate and interact with one another in a hybrid or remote work environment? I'm here with our special guest, Liz Corey. Liz, please introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, Carolyn. I'm so excited to be here today to talk about this topic that I'm very passionate about and near and dear to my heart. So my name is Liz Corey, and I'm the HR leader here at Velosio. As you know, Carolyn, at Velosio, we have the cornerstone of our HR strategy is around employee experience and employee engagement. And we couldn't be successful with that without leveraging the technology that we have.
So how does the Microsoft platform help support the employee experience and having our employees have a space to create and share their knowledge, their content amongst the many teams that we have here at Velosio?
Yeah, so it's everything. We do all of our collaborations through Microsoft Teams. We create teams within the Teams environment, anything from functional teams to project teams to even things allowing people to network with one another, such as the women of Velosio and Velosio Pets and Velosio Kids. So not only do we engage with our technology through the platform, we also use it to socialize, to remain in touch with one another, to work together, to see each other, to be in the same room with one another. I think additionally, the importance of leveraging this technology is around sharing and collaboration, as I mentioned, but that includes document sharing, the ability to be able to have those whiteboards and those spaces where we can actually see each other, chat with one another, record messages, take notes, and have a record of everything that we're doing. It really does facilitate productivity. So, Carolyn, from your perspective, how does the Microsoft platform support that creation and sharing of knowledge best among teams? What types of things do you notice here at Velosio?
That's a great question. It really does feel like while we're not in the office, we do get an opportunity to interact with each other. When we have our videos on, we can see each other more so than we probably could have in the past without Microsoft Teams. Whether it's through one-on-ones, whether it's in these meetings, social events like you mentioned earlier, it really gives us that, it breaks through that screen barrier to some degree where we can see each other and notice the little nuances of our colleagues in the environment and in the organization. And what I've also noticed is that we're not afraid to collaborate with each other. We have a lot of team members in the org, and simply knowing who they are, what their name is, you can quickly pull them up, see if they're available, and essentially collaborate with them. Either ask them a question. Here's the document you were looking for. Oh, I to your point in the pets chat, I have a cute new pet, sharing with the team.
Right.
It gives us that human feel, even though we're not necessarily in human contact with a lot of our counterparts, but it can help simulate a lot of that, which effectively helps how we feel day to day in our roles and our interactions with our colleagues. Liz, how does the Microsoft platform help with employee work balance? We're all working from home. We're all constantly doing something. How does that help an employee in their experience?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. We hear more and more that employees are demanding flexibility in their schedule. And that leads to creating a healthy work-life balance. For us, it's really about leveraging your calendar, having effective meetings, using things like Viva Engage to get updates, chat with one another in a social media type setting, just like you would go to Facebook for updates from your friends. We use Viva Engage for updates from our colleagues on anything from trainings that people completed to updates on project status to sharing maybe when a new addition joins the family. I think it's been a great way for people to be able to balance what they do and how they do it. I think additionally, it's very important to note that you just don't learn the technology itself. So we do actively share best practices with one another, right from meetings that matter to how do you balance your day. And it extends anything from making sure you're booking your focus time, making sure you're accurately reflecting when you're in the office and out of the office, when you're available and when you're not available, and all of those things lead to supporting work-life balance. Carolyn, how is that working for your team? How does that Microsoft platform support, employee engagement and work-life balance for you and your team?
I mean, it's been phenomenal. We use it literally is the lifeblood of our team. We're constantly collaborating with each other, and we're not always meeting to meet and discuss these things. We have an active group team that everyone collaborates with each other on, and then when they need to, they can have those separate conversations still within the application, but not necessarily in a group phase. And then we use it a lot for socializing, making sure that we're giving time to not just focus on the work, but also share a little bit of what's going on in our personal lives. And then with the team, we really leaned into Viva Insights, so really understanding how much time are we spending in meetings? How much time are we spending chatting? And how much time are we spending emailing? Because it can be a death by paper cuts type of thing, where you don't realize that you're spending so much time on all these collective important things that they may be consuming a large portion of the day. And just having that insight can help you navigate, well, I do spend, 50% of my time in meetings. Is that appropriate? Does that make sense? The insights also tells you, are you spending a majority of the time inside work hours, or are you spending a lot of your time after hours? And how does that balance with what you're trying to do? It even has a cool feature in there to just remind you, hey, how's your day going? Do you need a break? Do you, we've noticed that you've spent, this much time. Maybe you need to sprinkle in, to your point, focus time, where you can just have time for yourself to get these tasks done that maybe you're holding off till, the top of the morning or the end of the day to accomplish. So just having that data point can allow the team and myself to really take a step back and analyze and determine, are there things I can be doing to better my experience?
Right. Yeah. And honestly, everybody owns their own employee experience. So the ability to have that information is key and critical. I know within my team, we've used insights and determined that we send a lot of emails to each other. And, is there an email that maybe could be a chat, or maybe could be held for discussion during a one-on-one or a team meeting, so that so much information isn't spent, replying to emails that could very easily be handled in another way. Right. Without that information, without those insights, we wouldn't have been able to have those conversations.
Exactly.
And I think it also forces people to be able to share how they like to work, right? So I'm not particularly a morning person, for example. I tend to stay a little bit later. I do have people on my team who are morning people. And so there's times where we can respect that for each other, and that creates a really nice nice balance, nice flexibility, and just a shared understanding, and helps us get a lot more done. So it's been just a really great experience to leverage that part of the technology.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. The just having that data set at your fingertips can really expose you to opportunities that maybe you wouldn't have had if you didn't have that information in front of you.
Right.
How does the Microsoft platform help support creating and sharing the knowledge? Everyone works in their own office, and we used to be able to hand someone a piece of paper, or just be able to hand a post-it note. Now we're in this dispersed work environment. How can these tool sets help organizations create the content and share it efficiently?
Yeah, I absolutely love this aspect of the technology. There's times, I'll give you a perfect example. As you know, this week we're preparing for our quarterly business review, and there's several members of my team who help pull the data that I need for that meeting. And we can all be in a document at the same time, updating different pages, and those updates are shared real time. And the sharing of documents is just completely invaluable from a productivity perspective. Being able to have specific folders where we can easily access information, again, is just a fantastic way to create that collaboration amongst the teams. I think the different ways to share documents, to be able to share them right within Teams, or right within email, or right within SharePoint, I think has been fantastic as well. Really invaluable. And it's almost to the point where if somebody doesn't share and we're not collaborating within a document, I'm like, why aren't we doing that? Right? It really reduces version control issues. The ability to see the edits and where people have made them has just been fantastic. And I think one of the things that I certainly don't want to leave out is, Microsoft's platform really does support accessibility and inclusion, especially for remote workers. So if somebody is differently abled, if somebody has different needs, there's ways that we can accommodate them that we haven't been able to accommodate in the past. So it really does open things up for a more diverse group of workers and more talent to be able to join us and work with us. At Velosio, we're pretty much 100% remote, and that's been fantastic for us from, a diversity, inclusion, and hiring people with different needs.
And expanding beyond our region, right? You can.
Yes, exactly.
US, outside of the country, it really just opens it up.
Yeah, you just reminded me. We started an initiative last year to hire some what we call nearshore workers. So we now have team members in Brazil and Costa Rica and Chile who are all working on our team. And in many situations, you would never know that they're sitting in a completely different country because, the collaboration tools are so strong. But Carolyn, I do have a question for you. I'm actually not that familiar with the Microsoft's My Analytics tool and how it can be used to monitor and improve employee well-being. Can you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. It really looks at, what is that employee's work life without being too intrusive, just getting a sense of what does their day look like? How much time are they spending in office hours, outside of office hours? Who are they collaborating with the most, and how are they collaborating with them? And is that working for the employee, or is that something that can be expanded and use other tool sets alongside with what's happening today? So it gives the end user even more insights into what their day looks like. And as an organization, you can use the tools to, again, guide that employee experience so that they're leveraging the tool to the best of their ability so that they can support their day-to-day life.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's interesting.
And funnily enough, the platform you were mentioning and accessibility, inside our team, I have to approve documents all the live long day. And it's come leaps and bounds in how I used to do my work, that the tools and the analytics that I've come to rely on to better understand how I'm engaging,
Right.
has informed how that document flow happens, the
Yes.
approval process, the collaboration. We even had an opportunity where we had to support clients that are not English speaking language clients, and they were looking for Velosio to help support them, and we were able to use the translate tool, use the dictation tool. I mean, there have been a lot of things that we've learned through these insights, and I always look at them as insights. They're insights that tell you some cool piece of information that maybe wasn't obvious, or it takes it over a course of time, and you can use that and say, I wonder if I do it this way, or if I continue to do it this way, is it good for everyone?
Right. And then you layer on top of that, all of the feedback that we get from our employee surveys, and, all of the feedback that we get in other areas. And it really starts to paint a picture for how we can continue to keep people engaged and create that amazing experience that we'd like to create.
Absolutely. You want to make sure that your employees are coming in and they want to do the work. More often than not, they come in and they want to do the work and they want to do it well. It's an ego thing, right? Nobody comes in wanting to do a bad job.
Right.
And giving them these insights and these tools just gets them even more ramped up to succeed. And they're just going to want to see what else is out there. What more can one leverage inside the tool set? What more can you do to make your workday easier, and again, keep you in a well-balanced mind state, so you're not constantly stressed or feeling
right.
It's really a win-win scenario for both parties.
Yes. Yeah, true. So true.
So how can the Microsoft platform help foster a sense of community and connection amongst the you mentioned earlier there's chats that exist, but is there other stuff, the chats?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's been terrific. We've had teams get together for team building activities to do anything from Pictionary to Hangman to happy hours to, just using it as some time to get together and reconnect. My team even had a painting workshop using the technology, which was a lot of fun. But I think, also to keep people engaged, really can't say enough about the Viva Engage platform to really be that social media sharing. We've created a team specifically for recognitions, where any team member can go in and thank another team member, recognize another team member for a job well done. And it's really created a really nice, uplifting type of environment through that team. And then the groups that we can network with through commonality, right? Anything from the pets, as we mentioned earlier, to the ladies of Velosio, to families. People connect through work by being able to share those things, and it's really allowed us to even extend our benefits. So, as you know, Carolyn, the Pets channel has just completely taken off, and it really caused us to add pet insurance benefits. So it's a combination of being able to create that sense of community and those connections. But it also yields to what can we do to create a really terrific experience for people just because of these connections. And I think that's been extremely powerful here at Velosio.
And supportive of each other.
Yes, absolutely.
Get to know each other and collaborate. You just that bond, that human interaction, that while we can't do it personally, we're doing it through technology, has really helped everyone support each other, understand, maybe things that are happening at home or successes inside everyone has a story, and the chance to be heard and celebrated and or supported in one's time is always a positive thing. And again, seeing all the wonderful things that you and the Velosio team has continued to incorporate into the organization, right? Leveraging the technology both for work, but also the well-being of the employees has really amplified this desire, I feel, to come into work, succeed in what your role is, but also help others succeed, right? There's that community aspect that it's fostering inside the org, and I just can't say anything negative.
I agree. And as I'm sitting here listening to you reflect, it's funny, you and I have never met each other face to face.
We have not.
Right. And I know you've been with Velosio a lot longer than I have, but I'm going on close to 3 years, and I do feel like we have a relationship. I do feel like Carolyn's my coworker and colleague and friend and part of my support group at work, and
I'm just not another name.
Exactly. And largely because we have this video capability, and being able to connect, as we mentioned earlier, around the sense of community and different things. So it's really been powerful that way. And just to share something funny, when I do meet people face to face for the first time, it's been interesting because some people are taller than you think, and some people are shorter than you think. So that's been the biggest aha moment when you do meet somebody. It's really a lot of fun.
But I bet it makes it easier when you finally meet someone in person.
Absolutely.
You're like, oh, I know who you are. It's not just an email person that we spend so much time working. Our core day is at the office, and yet I can tell you, in the past, I've had people come up to me and say, oh, you're Carolyn, and I've existed this whole time. So it's interesting how
right. And one other thing definitely comes to mind. I think we talked about work-life balance. I think because we are able to build that sense of community, and we have really been able to get to know each other, it does create a different level of respect. So for example, if a team member, if I send a chat or someone's on do not disturb, I know that I shouldn't disturb them. Or it's very easy for somebody to write back and say, hey, I'm at the doctor's with my mom. And I think it creates that level of respect for their time and their space, even during the day. And without collaboration tools like this, we'd never be able to build that, right?
Absolutely. If you're out sick, you're unavailable, you had to run
Correct.
There's a multitude of things. It's funny, it's so obvious, but now that it's as mature as it is right now, and I can't wait for all the new features that continue to roll out.
Yes, neither can I.
Really expanded leaps and bounds from how collaboration was, even back when a lot of organizations were forced to be in this model that we're in today.
Right.
It's changed so much, and it's been, from my experience, very positive. I assume yours as well.
Absolutely. They're doing workforce surveys now. They're doing work trends of the future. They are taking an aggregate of all the data that they see across all of these platforms, and really looking at worker trends. That's even insightful for us, right? Because we can then learn from best practices from other companies, what some of the trends are, how can we stay on top of those, and that's just invaluable to improving the experience for our employees at Velosio.
Yes, they use that telemetry to continue to enhance the environment, the system, the way it works, how it flows together. How do we use it today, and where can it be better, or where can it continue to be supported the way it is? It's just amazing, the power that's in there so far.
Well, and to your point, if I follow this on LinkedIn. Obviously, it's what I do for a living, but I also geek out about it. And so every single day I'm reading, oh my gosh, I could do this. Oh my gosh, I could do that. Oh my gosh, I could do this.
Yeah.
How can we use this? What can we do that's new? And sometimes it's hard to keep up with, right? And sometimes you almost have to say how much is too much, but the sad part is if you're not using the tools, right? If you as a company are not connecting with your people using these tools, that's the problem. So yeah, you could be using 2 or 3 of the features, not all 10 of the features, but if you're not using any of them, or you're not even exploring this, you're missing the boat. You're really missing an opportunity to create that environment for your people that is something special.
It's a struggle we go through consistently with clients. I talk about adoption a lot because Microsoft puts a lot into their tool set, so that the value is so exponential. You just can't you're not gonna want to say no.
That's right.
So there's so much in there. I remember working with a law firm who was so excited to be able to have a bookings page,
right,
or have a calendar, like again, and the ability to have that in the ecosystem and make their lives better. Technology, yes, you and I geek out on it. But not everybody does, which I understand. But there's so much there that can really help the employee experience, and you don't have to feel overwhelmed. There's baby steps that you can take to add more and more to it, and then all of a sudden it's like a recipe. There's all these different ingredients. Once you put it all together, give it the necessary amount of time that it needs to cook, you're gonna love the meal that comes out of it.
Exactly. And there's so much on the horizon. I mean, literally 3 or 4 times a week, our IT director and me, I'll send him an article. He'll send me an article. He's like, look at this feature. Look what we could do here. Oh, we're talking about meetings. Wow, here's our analytics and here's our stats on meetings. Look, we're not that great at that. So it gives you that directional for what you can do to improve that experience, right? And we see it by doing something. Again, analytics is only good if you take them and use them, right?
That's true.
So you don't have to use everything, but using those things that are important for your culture, for your environment, for your employees, I think is really smart on the part of organizations today.
You find that it helps I have to imagine it does, but the employee experience helps with retention and making sure that they stay with the org, that they feel happy inside the org. Yeah.
And we see it. I mean, those are some of the KPIs for us, right? So, we had in a 6 months period of time, we had 11-point improvement in our engagement scores, which is just, honestly, it's unheard of. And if we didn't have this interaction, we wouldn't have those results. From 2021 to 2022, we saw retention improve. I mean, our turnover percentages dropped by almost 13%, which again, that means people are engaged, they're liking it, they're having the right conversations with the right people, and they're staying, which is huge for us. It's huge for our customer experience. It's huge. It's a huge testament to growth and development that people find they have here. But again, it's important to listen, right? And it's important to use those technologies to find out what's working well and what isn't.
And I think that's the best part about the tool set, right? Not every human is the same. There can be introverts that don't really want to, chit chat and interact, but they use other methodologies or tools inside the solution that help them effectively communicate and collaborate in their own way. Another person. Again, to your point, there's accessibility inside the stack that myself as an employee can look at it and go, what works best for me so that I can be successful whilst having a good experience here in my workday.
Yes. And you're absolutely spot on. It's not one size fits all, right? Oftentimes organizations will say, oh, well, if I do this, if I implement this new benefit, or if I implement this new program and I give it to everybody, it's not one size fits all. People will
No,
take what they need from it and incorporate it into their day.
they pick and choose. Yes, you're
They
right.
do. They do.
Yeah.
They do.
And the
So
goal
you,
here is to have enough options that help support a good vast majority, and it's agile enough where the options there can be leveraged the way they need. So it's not
right.
straightforward one thing and this is how you have to use the tool
Yeah,
and
for
deploy.
sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been amazing. All the like the focus on this continues to improve and show dividends. I can't wait to see the new features that get rolled out. So there's more stuff that we can do.
Completely agree. Completely agree.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's so important in this remote hybrid work to feel as though you are connected, that you're collaborating, and it's easy to do so. The Microsoft ecosystem has really set us up for success, and working remotely is easier than ever, and staying engaged with one another, collaborating with each other, and just having a well-balanced work life. Thank you again for spending time with us. Hope to see you soon.